the best way possible to cook boneless, skinless chicken breast. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna show you how to prepare and properly cook boneless, skinless chicken breast and how to make it taste good and how to make it taste tender and juicy. So what we have here is 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And we have the boneless, skinless chicken breast sitting in salt water.
What?
Now why salt water? The reason why we have it sitting in salt water, the salt water draws the water into the chicken breast, and if you cook the chicken breast after letting it sit in salt water for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes or even all the way overnight, the chicken is gonna taste so much more tender and so much more juicy. This is a necessary step. So if you wanna eat a lot of chicken, or if your diet requires you to eat a lot of chicken for a good source of lean protein and you don't want to get sick and tired of chewing on chicken, let it sit in the salt water, or else you're gonna get tired of eating the dry chicken. You're gonna be trying to get all these ounces of chicken down. You're gonna be choking, okay? So put your chicken in salt water before you eat it. So that's step 1. Step 2, we're gonna fillet the chicken breast and we're gonna trim the fat off of the chicken breast. And the reason why we fillet the chicken breast is because when you put it on the grill, the way that the chicken breast is shaped, it's a little bit thicker on one side and it's thinner on the other side. So we gotta fillet it so it cooks evenly. If not, the thinner side of the chicken breast is gonna cook first and it's gonna get dried out, and the thicker side is still gonna be not cooked enough, and you can increase your chances of getting sick from raw chicken. So step 1. Cut the fat off and just put that right back there in the bowl. Same with this. So all around the chicken, I like to cut the fat off, and also the tendons on the edge and the connective tissue here on the chicken. So there we are, same thing. So I just cut this fat off as well. I don't like it. That part actually just grosses me out. So if you see this right here, these veins and arteries, that actually disgusting. So I don't like that either. So I cut that off as well. So we're gonna get rid of all this fat and skin here on the chicken. Same thing here, this little knot, I don't like it. So what I like to do with those pieces, so this right here also, I don't like that as well. So what we can do with those pieces is we can save it and make tacos. Now, we can save it and we can give it to our dogs, our little furry friends, okay? So here's the chicken. We have the thicker side here and the thinner side right here. So we're gonna take that, push down on it, apply a little bit of pressure, and we're gonna slice. If you have to push, and the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. Now I'm gonna put that back in the salt water for a second and let it just sit. If you have to push too hard with your knife, that means your knife is not sharp enough. So you need to get a sharper knife, or you need to sharpen your knife. So once again, starting on the thick end, thin end is down here. We're gonna put a little bit of pressure on that chicken, slide that knife back and forth, nice and gently. And there we are. Our chicken breast is now filleted. Push down and slide. It's now filleted. So I've thrown the chicken breast back into the salt water, and I'm gonna actually pull it back out. This chicken is gonna be so tender and so juicy, it's gonna be crazy. I'm now gonna pull the chicken back out of the salt water, and we're gonna rub some seasoning into it. If it's your first time doing that, it might be uneven or it might be a little bit sloppy, but don't worry about it. You'll get better and better the more you do it and the more you practice. Just like everything, practice makes perfect. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're gonna lay these out on the cutting board. We have rosemary garlic seasoning. Sprinkle that on top. flip the chicken breast over. Sprinkle on the bottom. Poultry seasoning. Sprinkle that on the top. Next, we're gonna rub the seasoning into the chicken breast. If you just put the seasoning on top of the chicken breast, a lot of times it doesn't really absorb the flavor as good. So I highly recommend taking your seasoning and rubbing it into the chicken breast. Now remember, if you're trying to get lean, if you're trying to get shredded, you're probably gonna be eating a lot of chicken, so you gotta make sure that your chicken tastes good. You gotta make sure that you enjoy your food. So here we have our chicken, and it's now ready to be put on the grill. So here we have the grill. It's already heated up. It's preheated. Nice and hot. Preheat the grill before you put the chicken on. So it's been about 7 minutes. The timer just went off, so now it's time to other side. So we'll probably put it on the other side for about 6 minutes because it actually looks like it's getting cooked pretty fast. So here we have the finished product. Make sure when you take the chicken breast off of the grill, let it cool off first. The best scenario possible, before cutting the chicken breast, store it in the fridge and cut it the next day. It's gonna retain all the moisture that way. But if anything, if you don't have that much time, let it cool for a good 15 to 20 minutes, because if you cut the chicken breast open while it's still steaming hot, unless you plan on eating it right away, all the steam and all the moisture is gonna leave the chicken, and it's gonna leave your chicken dry and nasty, and there you are again, eating nasty, dry chicken, trying to stay on a good, healthy diet, trying to stay lean, trying to keep your waistline down, and you're miserable eating nasty chicken that you don't want to eat. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it open, and I like to cut my chicken against the grain, so I kind of fillet it. It seems to be a little bit more tender when I eat it that way. So here's how we're gonna cut it. So here's the finished product. So what we want to do, if you look real closely, you can see the grains and you can see which way they're going. So you want to cut against the grains. Grains are going this way. We want to cut this way. And I like to cut at an angle. Once again, slide the knife back and forth, nice and gently. If you find yourself pushing with your knife and pushing hard and putting too much muscle into it, that means your knife is not sharp and it's time to go to the store and get a new knife. It's not working for you anymore. The best way possible to cook boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you can get creative with the seasonings that you use and the marinades that you use. You can use garlic, you can use lemons, you can use limes, you can use curry powder. If you eat your chicken the same way, if you cook your chicken the same way over and over and over, you're gonna get tired of the food that you're eating. This is a lifestyle. You're supposed to be able to eat chicken and eat healthy and eat lean and stay in shape and stay lean for the rest of your life. So make sure you subscribe down below and hit that like button.